So welcome back to Story Time with Bobo. This is my second video blog entry about my trip in China, and so it's part 2 of that story that I was telling earlier. And this one's all about our time in Xian. This is kind of the middle ground between this story and the next one, where Beijing's a little bit better, but Xian's still fun. For those wanting to go, it's the old ancient capital of China. There's a wall there too. It's not the Great Wall, but it's pretty cool. They also have the Terracotta Army visitation area, and they have the drum tower is really cool. I'll explain everything. So we get there by plane and then by bus. The city is kind of smoggy from pollution, and this was really the first time I had to deal with smog when I was in China, which was a little rough at first, but it gets way worse, trust me. So we're in Xian, and we're staying at a hostel right next to the drum tower. You should look up the drum tower. It looks like this. It's pretty great. So we stayed right across from it. The next morning, we woke up, went to the Terracotta tour, where we first went to the museum, the factory where they make terracotta warriors. So you can buy them today. And if you ever go anywhere in China, everything's about buying something from someone. They'll take you to all these places that you have to go through before you can get to something. And I ended up buying a little chicken because I'm the year of the rooster, and the little chicken means wealth. So I bought one. Has nothing to do with terracotta warriors, but it was at this terracotta warrior creation facility. So then we went to have lunch with all the other people on the tour, and then we went to the terracotta warrior exhibit, and just tons and tons and tons of people because it's the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, and it's kind of weird. I personally feel like it's fake, and it was like made up by the Chinese, but supposedly the clay matches the carbon dating of something stupid old, and because it's like they won't dig anymore to find them. A lot of it's destroyed or recreated by that facility. And it was like, and the story is that some farmers were digging, and they just so happened to come across the entrance to the burial grounds. Likely story, Chinese farmers. But it's possible. Anything's possible. This is Emperor Xian, I think. I don't remember. So then after the tour, they're like, hey, you guys want to go see the Emperor's grave? And we're like, yeah, of course. So he's like, okay, you see that hill way out in the distance? We're like, yeah. He goes, that's the tomb. And we're like, really? That's it? Qing, Emperor Qing. And he's like, yeah, it's full of mercury. You can't get in it. There's booby traps. Tons of gold underneath. And I was like, why haven't they drained the mercury? Is this place real? Is it just a hill and Chinese are selling it to make money off of a hill that you can't even go to? This is how I feel. I'm probably 100% wrong though, so... But that's my conspiracy theory of the video. Then the next day, we went, 4 out of 5 of us wanted to go to this tea shop where you gotta it's a day's hike on the most dangerous mountain hike in the world, but they got ropes and stuff, so I think it's okay. And then at the top of the peak of the mountain, there's a tea shop, a little tea shop, and 4 out of 5 of us wanted to do it, and 1 of us didn't want to do it, and the other 4 of us didn't feel like dealing with that one person, so we decided against it. And so I remember the next day we decided to go. The wall is really like a big square rectangle, and you get to it on top of it, and you can rent bikes, and they rent regular and tandem. So we're riding bikes across the wall. 2 people decided to ride tandem. I wasn't one of them, but we stopped for a second, and then I got on the tandem bike to try it. Nothing's difficult, but I think the person I was riding with did not make it easier. So choose your tandem bike partner wisely is what I recommend. The next thing we did is we decided to go to some like shopping market in like the like Muslim capital of Xian, and so we find these little like carts, and if like bikes with the little seating arrangements behind them. So, but these are like motorized bikes, like kind of bike taxis, whatever you want to call them. And so we asked how much would take us to this place, and the woman's like, "Yeah, that's it'll be 50 kwai." And we're like, for both of them, right? 50 for two, and she's like, "Yeah, 50 for two." So we took two because we couldn't all fit in one, and we get there, and for the first time in China, I saw a Dunkin' Donuts, and you'll never believe how obsessed our party was with seeing a Dunkin' Donuts for the first time. And then, so we get out, and we're in the little market. My friend Ryan pulls out 100 to hand to her and asks for change, and she takes it and just drives off. She just stole 50 kwai, which is like almost $10. Great, whatever. So then we go shopping, and then we eat the Muslim food, and then we go back to the drum tower, and they've got a shopping area right there, and it's nighttime. And I remember I saw the biggest telescope I've ever seen in my life, and it says the USA on it, and I'm like, that's questionable. And then the guy's like, come here, and he like shoots a laser out of the telescope, and then I look inside of it, and what do I see? The face of the moon and the little laser on the moon, and it was crazy. So I'm super excited. He told me it was like 5 kwai. I was like, that's less than $1 to look at the moon. Hell yeah. So then he takes my phone and he starts taking pictures of the lens, the island, so you could see the moon on my phone, and starts showing all the Chinese people around. And I guess because they see this white kid doing it, they're all like, we all want to buy into it. So I made that guy a lot of money that night. I guess that's white privilege in China. And and then I guess we bought some knockoff stuff. I bought a Rosetta Stone, a wallet. What else did I buy? I think that was pretty much it. Had to save my money. Then from Xi'an, we decided we were going to Beijing. That's my next story. But we went to the airport, and we had to wait like 10 hours for our flight. So we were gonna sleep at the airport, and I wake up. My friend, we're at McDonald's, and they're all playing cards. I'm laying on a booth. I wake up, and there's just 2 Chinese men staring over me. I was like, you are not stealing my shit. I like, whoa, whoa, like scare them, intimidate them, and they like just turned around, walked away, and then I went back to sleep. I've got like this sixth sense when people watch me when I sleep. It's kind of weird, but it's a evolutionary trait, And we flew into another airport, and I'm gonna end the story after this last little second, so it's not long this week. And we land, and we're like, okay, we're supposed to catch a bus, and we could not figure out where the frick we were supposed to go. And so like I'm outside, and they're like, yeah, the bus is right here, it's leaving. And all my friends are inside, so I had to like run to my friends, go grab them. I'm like, we're leaving, like, let's go. And we get to it, and there's nowhere to sit in the truck, in the van or whatever it was. And so my friends crawl all the way to the back, and they're squished, and the driver's like, yeah, I've got this seat up front, like the passenger seat. And so I crawl up there, and it's huge. It's like a bus, and I'm shotgun. I've got my own room, and they're stuck in the back. Of course, Chinese people are like making that noise every 5 minutes. And they spit. They love to spit. It's really gross, but over there, it's couth. So, just be prepared that you're going to hear that noise all the time. And that's my story from Xi'an to Beijing. Thank you for listening to Bobo Stories. Sorry this one's short and kind of late, but next one will be really good. It'll be about the time we slid down the mountain of the Great Wall and ate some weird shit, and I said shit. And what else did we do? You'll find out next week. Talk to you later. Goodbye.